They made bold-sounding commitments on carbon emissions and the environment, but with the consumption of fossil fuels just getting around at this summit, you'd think G7 leaders were here to support climate change rather than defeat it.
Tackling climate change is now as much a political and communications challenge as it is a scientific or technological one. We have the skills to address it in time. All we need is the global will to do so.
UK host Boris Johnson hailed the G7's fantastic achievements.
They all made significant steps forward towards the $100 billion we're going to need by COP to support the developing world in tackling climate change.
Surprise! Surprise! G7, tell lies!
Campaigners and protesters, though, complained of a lack of ambition ahead of November's climate change summit in Glasgow.
If we look at the $100 billion commitment around climate financing, that was committed 2009, and here we are 12 years later, we still haven't seen it being delivered.
Appearances are everything on these occasions. The leaders looked at ease with one another, united in the face of global crisis. But friction and disappointments lurked beneath. There was tension between the UK and EU leaders over a post-Brexit trade deal. Invited delegations here, India and South Africa, will have hoped to see more movement towards lifting vaccine patents. And host Boris Johnson will have wanted to actually raise the billion doses promised to be donated to poorer countries, rather than falling well short in the end. The final summit communique revealing that G7 countries have just 870 million doses to give away over the next 12 months. The summit's achievements not quite so fantastic, viewed from the global south.
There are 2.5 billion excess doses that they have mustered for themselves. And then if they cannot commit, if they've just only basically committed to 840 million, excess if they vaccinate 100% of their population. So the question is, does that sound urgent to you? Does that sound urgent to anybody else?
The G7 did, however, signal the return of US global leadership.
America's back in the business of leading the world alongside nations who share our most deeply held values.
Joe Biden stopped off at Windsor Castle for tea with the Queen before meeting NATO allies in Brussels and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Geneva later this week. Jonah, Al Jazeera, Cornwall.